to February
Something wrong.
9th, Sunday Evening Live, with your hosts, Aaron and Anneesa Feenstra. You are watching Countryside Acres. Dun, 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 dun. No? Hey, man, you gotta have a
Sure.
little bit of life. We even have one person watching.
There you go. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. I finally found my Russian food that I like. Finally.
Mm.
Mm. It's not really food, but something I've never had in Canada that is, I believe, distinctly Russian, and that would be kvass. And I have really taken a liking to kvass. It's very delicious, very refreshing. I have no idea if it's actually good for your health or not. It's supposed to be, but I mean, a lot of stuff nowadays is so full of sugar. Who knows? But it's yummy. I like kvass. Have you tried kvass yet? Did you like it?
No,
Oh,
not really.
you're not a real Russian.
Mm-mm.
You are not a Russian. Привет, привет. Do you do homeschooling? How is the Russian language coming along? Yes, we do homeschooling, and Russian language is coming along slowly. The kids get lessons quite a bit, and Anissa and I, we're just so swamped with everything. It's really hard. We now have officially 3 years to learn it. I think that I have learned quite a bit this first year. You probably a little bit less so.
Mm-hmm.
You have a harder time with languages, but
Mm-hmm.
so if I can build on what I've learned the first year, I think after this year I'll be doing really well. Greetings from Sweden. That's nice. People from all over the world, still crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely crazy. We stop and think about that a lot. It's just we have this massive family from all over the place. You know, it's really neat. It's not something that many people in the world get to experience. We were looking that up the other day, even the percentage of YouTube channels that actually make it to 200,000. We're shy of it, but we're getting close to 200,000. And it was what? Very small, like 3% or something, wasn't it?
I think so.
Something like that. It's a very small amount. And so we are very privileged to be in that bracket, I guess, and to have all of you. Good evening from Nizhny. Hello from the United States. Greetings from Moscow. Hello, Moscow. Good evening. Good morning. So, a lot of people call you guys traitors and whatnot. Not a lot. No, we had some resistance when we first got here. We just booted those people off, and that was the end of it. No, I don't see too much of that. I think a lot of the people with their head on their shoulders properly in the West see what's wrong in the West and also see that Russia has a lot of good. Congratulations to your family getting temporary residency. Yeah, that was the big news for this week. We were
Very
super grateful
excited.
for that because up until now, although our daily lives don't look like it because we've been building and doing everything, planning on staying, we're not guaranteed to get to stay at all. And I mean, we had a pretty good idea. We
Yeah.
filled all the papers out properly. We're behaving properly. Like we're not, some kind of evil bad people. So there's really no reason why we wouldn't have been able to get temporary residency. But still, now it's official. Now we actually have documentation allowing us to stay for 3 years. So that's pretty cool. How do you spell the healthy Russian drink mentioned? So with Latin letters, it'd be KVASS. Double S, right? I think it's double S.
Yep.
Kvass. Kvass. And there's different variations. Some of it's made from fermented bread. Some of it's made from beets. And I think the one I have now is beets, which, if you're Dutch on here at all, you would know what appelstroop is. This reminds me of appelstroop, but it's like liquid though. It's a drink. It's I don't know if I can't really show you on there, but can I? Where is it? Well, it's just a drink. Very delicious. Hello from St. Petersburg. Congratulations
Mm.
receiving RVP. Good evening from Almaty, Kazakhstan. Hello from Uzbekistan. Did you even know that these countries existed? Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan.
I
Like
don't think so.
before moving to Russia. You think?
I think so because we did a lot of like looking at the map and stuff before we came.
True.
but not
that's
like,
true. But there are countries that show up now. They're
but
like
not like years and years and years before.
right. Like here, even North Ossetia, I know where that is. I wouldn't have known that before going to Georgia. Right?
Mhm.
How's the tractor? Any good news? So we have two tractors, little guy, big guy. Little guy, I did an overhaul on the hydraulics and it is now working again, but I need to get new oil. I'm going to dump out the old oil and get something with a thicker viscosity, I think, because it works fine when it's cold, but as soon as the oil warms up, it doesn't want to work. So it's probably too thin and can't build pressure, would be my guess. I don't know what's in there. Most of it was in there when we bought it, but we will get something else. I got to sneeze.
That's
The big tractor is back again. Unfortunately, it didn't find anything wrong with it. They peeled everything apart. They went right down to the bare bones. And they replaced some more brake stuff, I think, but they actually didn't find anything physically wrong with it. So it is back. I have played with it a little bit here in the yard, like half an hour. So far, it seems good. I don't know. We'll find out this week. I have not found good pickled beets in Moscow yet. Still looking. Pickled beets are good.
I never really thought about it. Not like we've ever seen pickled
Never
beets.
seen any here, but I like eating them. You used to make them.
Mm.
Tell you what, you could probably buy those from Countryside Acres. If you go on our VK page, maybe later this year in the fall,
I don't
maybe
know.
you will be able to find pickled beets. Will you have to worry about deer, crow, etc. on your crops? It's impossible to grow market vegetables where I live without a 10-foot fence. Crows, we see those. I used to take care of them with a shotgun once in a while back in Ontario, but I don't have any options for that right now. I thought maybe I could get a slingshot. Maybe that would help. As far as
You
deer,
can get things
nah,
like,
we never see any deer.
yeah.
Actually, Freed did. Freed seen a dead deer on the side of the road.
Did he?
Yep. So they do exist, but like they're not very common. Not like what we had, back in Saskatchewan, especially. We had piles of deer there. I am a Siberian Novgorod is also good. Greetings from Croatia. Greetings from Cape Cod, USA. Svetlana, bless you. Ina, good everyone. Boomy, be healthy. Eckhart, hi guys. I have a question. Can you now say that Russia is your home and you are at home? Thank you. We could say that before already. Russia is our home and we feel at home. Yes. We were in Moscow 2 weeks ago. And by the end of it, Anneesa was homesick for Nizhny, not for Canada. She's like, man, we gotta go home. Yep, this is home.
Yeah.
Greetings from Nigeria. I've been watching your videos since day one. Good luck to you in Russia. Day one in Russia or day one like all 5 years?
I know
I'd
a
be
lot
curious.
of people say day one, but they think it
Yeah.
started in Russia. But
You can go back on the channel a long ways to all our old videos. That's actually a big support to us too. People don't realize that's how YouTube works. The more obviously you watch, the
more
better chance
views
of
we
us
get.
making an income, and also if you watch the whole video through. So even if
the ads.
even if you don't want to, just hit play and walk away. That's a big help to us too. The big tractor is failing. No, I don't know. Things happen. Can happen to any tractor. I seen a brand new John Deere tractor in the shop one time, and they had the whole thing tore apart because there was an electric issue, and it was brand new, like 100 hours type thing. So they had the cab off, you name it, trying to figure out this problem. Do you mingle with the locals? Yes, we do. Once in a while. Yep. We were actually invited. That was at Christmas time. We were invited to something here in the local town, but it was like short notice.
It was Mother's Day.
Mother's Day. Okay, they let us know like I don't know 2 hours
I
before
didn't-
the event, and we already had plans.
Yeah,
so.
but we didn't. No, the truck got stuck out here.
Oh yes, that's why.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
That's the
couldn't
day the
make it,
lumber truck
yeah.
got stuck in here.
Yeah, and we didn't know it was Mother's Day because Mother's Day is different here than what we would be used to.
The best kvass is homemade. I was reading that, yeah, because then obviously, well, everything we think homemade's better, but I would like to see about maybe making that this year. You like making kombucha? Maybe we can learn to make kvass too. Tatiana, Aaron and Anneesa, and also your lovely children. Good evening, and to everyone on the channel. Constantine, hi Aaron. Did you learn construction from your dad, or did you do it yourself? By the way, is your fathering style looks like your fathering style? No, I did not learn construction from my dad. He may have done some, but not really. I don't remember him doing a lot of construction. My brothers, I'm the youngest of 10 kids, so I have six older brothers. We've all spent time in construction. I have two brothers still full time in construction. One owns his own business. I think he's got like 30 guys working for him, and the other guy works for a company that has probably also about 40 guys. And yeah, he's like a site foreman or something like that there. And I've been in construction. I started when I was like 14. So the church I grew up in, most people are either involved in agriculture or trades. At least they were at that time. So, and they go kind of hand in hand. Farming, at least Canadian style farming, most farmers know how to do construction and plumbing and welding and all that stuff. Um, so construction, no, I learned. I like learning. Um, if I have a good teacher, a good someone, like I've had some really good bosses, which just helps. As far as parenting style, not at all. No. My parents tried to, of course, raise us to know God and go to church, but yeah, I like to think we're improving on a lot of mistakes that were made.
Oh, they taught you to be respectful. Like,
Those types of things, yeah, maybe. Yeah.
yeah.
My dad wasn't a very easy man. Best wishes from all around Russia. Lisa in New Zealand. Hi from New Zealand. Elizabeth, you are amazing, beautiful family. Thank you. Lime, in a couple of months, it will be time for you to buy calves, piglets, and chickens. We got chickens coming this week, folks. The cat's out of the bag. Actually, they were supposed to be here on Saturday, but miscommunication, unfortunately. So they will be coming either on Thursday or Friday this week. And pigs soon as well. And then calves, we'll wait a little bit for longer for that one. No, I'm from Russia. I just work in Nigeria. Me and you. Hey, Aaron and Anneesa, would you consider ever converting to Orthodoxy also? Does your children play with other Russian kids? Sorry if it's a nosy question. That is a perfectly normal question. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I had no idea what Orthodoxy was until about 4 years ago ish. Maybe a little bit earlier, I had kind of heard about it, but not really Orthodoxy per se. We were looking into head coverings. As you notice, Anneesa always wears one. And we were looking into the biblical slash historical roots of it. And that's where I came across that a lot of Eastern Europeans still wore coverings. And I wanted to know why that was. And that's where I first heard of the Orthodox Church. But nothing really about it other than that these people were Orthodox. I'm still very interested in it. I am very interested in all religion. I'm interested in almost everything, but I love religion as well and tracing roots, where people come from, what makes people do what they do, why there's so many churches today, and I find the whole thing very fascinating. Obviously, God is extremely important in our life, and serving Him properly is very important to us.
Mm.
But we come from a world where Catholicism is most prominent, I guess, and it's got a lot of flaws. I'm sorry if you're Catholic. I don't want to offend anybody, but there's a ton of flaws, including the Pope now blessing same-sex unions, things like that. So to us, Orthodoxy and Catholicism looks similar. I'm learning now that they're not at all similar, but it looks that way, and so that's kind of like, oh yeah, we don't want to do that. Uh, but no, I'm very interested in it, and all the good things that I see here in Russia. Uh, a lot of them are pushed by the Orthodox Church. A lot of the changes, the good, positive, pro-Christian changes that I see in politics, they're pushed by the Orthodox Church. So that speaks volumes right there. So very interested in it. I forget the other half of the question. Um, Something about the kids. Oh, do your children play with other Russian kids? Yes, they do from time to time. There's no kids here right now in our village. Everybody's gone home for the winter. But in the summertime, there was children around, and the kids play with them. And of course, when we're in the city, they play with them as well. So, yep. Okay, scroll down a little bit. Poor thing. I feel sorry for the guy. He got himself into this family. Now he works like Papa Carlo. He's already lost all his health. Huh? Okay, that was an odd one to jump into. I have no idea what we're talking about. Good evening from Montenegro. Why does that sound familiar? Montenegro. Where is that? Unless I'm thinking of the Count of Monte Cristo. That's a good movie.
Yeah, I haven't watched, or you don't really watch that.
Many greetings from Germany. Are you close to City Boar? You live on the same side of the river, right? Boar's on the other side of the river, isn't it? I don't have a map of Nizhny here. I think Boar's on the other side of the river, but I could be wrong.
We need a map of Nizhny. I
We
would
should.
like one with all the districts or like the areas in it too, like
Just of our state.
just of our state, so we can
We've got the
and
entire federation map here,
one.
but then Nizhny's pretty small when you compare it to the entirety of Russia, so it's pretty hard to see. And then, of course, we have the world map here, and that makes Nizhny impossible to find pretty
Right.
much. So,
Yeah, but one of
so
just like
that's a good idea.
of Nizhny region with, and then we can figure out all the different districts.
I'll have to look into that next time they're at the store or something.
Mm-hmm.
Will you please do some videos from your local villages as weather warms up? And can you talk about prices compared to Western prices whenever you shop? Yeah, we would like to do more villages. I would like to. It's been so busy. It's weird. I know we always say that, but I would like to do a lot more drives into the rural countryside, filming more farmlands and things like that. So definitely something. Our windows tend to be always dirty too. Imagine clean them, but the roads are just so slushy. It doesn't help.
This time of year, yeah.
What was the other half of that question?
I don't know.
Oh, prices. So we can do some of that. I still would love to do a grocery haul. Just go to the store, fill up a cart with a typical week's worth of groceries, and then compare those. I can go online and find the prices, what they would be in Canada, and just do a side by side comparison of what those same items would cost
I also
us.
have another. I would like to go into the other store. We haven't been there yet.
Oh yeah, what's it called again? Something with an L. Lehman? No,
Lindy. I don't know. Somebody will tell us.
I don't remember. But yes, that is a good idea, and we'll probably do some. I'm from Moscow. Glad to see you. Cure your back at Yuri Repin Center. I'm sure that is. There isn't really a cure. Like, it
Well,
just
there
takes time.
is. You just
Well, I'm not going for surgery.
take it easy.
That's not really a cure. It's just a long-term healing. Like a cure is
Right.
something that's like fast. So
Right.
it's not like pop this pill and everything's better. So.
Sure.
You guys are rather quiet today. Your mic low. Oh, I don't know. Got it right here. Anybody else having problems with that? Radmila, drop it. Will you get small chicks or chickens? Originally, we were going to buy an incubator and eggs, and then a friendly lady told us we'd be better off just to buy chickens, and then if we like the chickens, then we can just hatch those eggs. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, get a rooster after.
So that's what we're going to do for now. We will probably still be buying an incubator though, because we want one for down the road, and then we will be buying eggs for the meat birds. But that we're going to wait a little bit yet. It's still a bit cold. Montenegro was part of Yugoslavia. It said here on the screen. I don't know where the comment went. It was Yugoslavia before. There was another one I just read. No, it was part of Yugoslavia on the Mediterranean coast south of Serbia. Why does it sound so familiar? Montenegro.
I don't know.
Is it like a capital or something? Is there something particular that happened during the Yugoslavia war or anything like that? The name sticks out. I don't know. In Nizhny, you can treat your back in the PIMU, Department of Traumatology and Orthopedics. So I have been to a traumatologist for my back already. I have been to chiropractor for my back. I have been to not an orthopedic, I don't think. But what's the other lady? Neurologist.
Well, I would like you to.
Orthopedic. Well, for my shoes, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have been seeing quite a few people. It's just everything takes time.
Peter, and a lot of it has to do with like taking rest and stuff too, right? Like if you overdo it, right, then it's not gonna fix it.
Right. Well, I try not to do too much.
Well, other than lifting things here and there when you're not supposed to.
When you're not looking.
That's
no. I have been lifting a lot less.
Absolutely, but the things when you do finally lift, it's like, oh, honey, you shouldn't have lifted that. Right? Yeah. Like I feel like you were getting better, and then you grabbed that washing machine and just hauled it up the stairs, and I was like, honey, like.
Which washing machine? I lifted that upstairs?
Yeah. Then you called the boys in for the dryer, because at that point you had already hurt your back again.
Well, I'm only 22. So.
He's a stubborn old man.
Nijni, you can know that I left the U.S. in 2023 and now live in Russia, and left because most around me were not practicing Christianity in the U.S. Many more real Christians here in Russia. Yeah, and that's the thing. So when I say that it's getting harder to serve God in Canada, people are like, well, that's crazy. It's a Christian nation, right? The trouble is that a lot of persecution is a strong word, but a lot of the problem lies in the churches, because there's a lot of churches. A lot of people go to church, but unfortunately, most of those churches are not Christian churches. I mean, they have Christ's name on the door, but in practice, they don't serve Christ, and that's really unfortunate. So yeah, yep. I heard Montenegro is beautiful. Sergey, guys, tell us how you gave an interview to Sasha in Russia. Did you have a contract? Nope, no contract. Just sat at the table and did an interview. Zero sound problems on my end. Okay. Hello from Grand Forks area. Good for you guys living in currently a more Christian land. Bumo, are you familiar with the Merry Milkman from Altai? Yeah, Justice. I speak to him from time to time, and we keep planning on doing a interview. Just haven't got around to it yet, but we will at some point. Yeah, I don't know when. No timeline yet. What do you think about the strange winter in our region right now? Pretty warm and almost no snow. How's it going to affect soil and farming? I'm a little concerned about that. Yeah, it might be a bit dry come spring.
It was already dry here. Like compared to Nizhny, like we're an hour south, and it was really
it could turn around. Like I generally don't worry about it a lot. It's more here and now. I mean, if it's dry, it's dry. What are you going to do about it? There's not much point worrying about it. God will bring what He brings, and if we have to, we'll do irrigating somehow. But it is
a little bit
possible that if we don't have enough snow, we won't have enough moisture yet.
Right.
Yeah. Now we do a lot of our gardening under plastic, and that really, really helps because it doesn't dry out the soil. So even on a dry year, our last farm was very sandy, and we also went through dry spells, but the ground would still stay very moist underneath the plastic, just because the wind and the sun cannot dry it up. So that makes a world of difference. I had to put a headset on to hear you. It's better now. Хорошо. Will or Bulldog Chuck be on the stream today? Who's your Bulldog Chuck? Healthcare in Russia for temporary/permanent residents and citizens is free. Only after you figure out how it all works. I'm pretty sure under asylum we were also eligible for free healthcare, but I have yet to figure that all out. There's now a new thing, which is actually kind of annoying, but we have to register something with the phone company or we lose our SIM cards. It's a brand new law for foreigners. Foreigners now can no longer get a SIM card. First, you have to land off the plane, then you have to go get your snills figured out, then you have to go to Augusta Slugi and get that all figured out. Then you have to go to you have to open a bank account before that, which I don't know how that's going to work because you can't open a bank account without a phone number. So I'm not sure how that's going to work yet. But anyway, once you get all that done, then you can finally go get a SIM card. Not very well thought out. I mean, I understand the idea behind it. It's to combat some terrorism and stuff. That's great. But I don't think they thought about the fact that it's going to affect tourism and affect immigrants like us. Now, us being here already, we already have phones, so it's not really a huge issue. We just need to go in and give proper documents and blah, blah, blah. And then it'll be fine. But for anybody coming, it's going to be a real pain. Interested to know if sanctions affect you in any way. Us personally, no.
Shipping stuff here is kind of a pain.
It's a pain, but it might have been a pain pre-sanctions too.
Oh, you could ship direct.
Could you?
Yeah.
But you can still do post. We mailed something to Canada.
Not in.
We haven't tried it yet.
Yeah, we've tried a couple times to get
package.
Yes.
Did we actually try going directly here?
Yeah.
Anyway, so I guess a little bit. But for the most part, no, they have everything on the shelf here. Everything's fine. So, yeah. Putin stands with farmers. Yeah, I think that's true. But there's many levels, right? I mean, yes, Putin's in charge, but he's not the only guy. There's tons and tons of offices and departments and everything else in the way. Not in the way, sorry, but I mean in the process of things, right? So oftentimes the guy on the top gets the trouble when things go wrong, and it's not necessarily his fault because there's other people in the system as well, and they also get the credit when things go right, and maybe that's not always accurate as well, because there's other people that do a lot of the work as well. So in certain areas, it is harder to do what we're doing. Here in Nizhny, we're super blessed with an amazing government. So I guess that's what I want to highlight. Yes, Putin's in favor, but here locally as well, we have a great government. Monetization only works if you watch through a VPN. This is correct. Yeah. For whatever reason, they shut that all off for Russia. So Russian viewers, I don't believe, have to watch any commercials, which is great. But there's also zero monetization from any Russians. Derek, well, the Feenstra family, hope you guys are making sure you're taking enough time for rest and relaxation. I know you guys have been going through a lot. Anywho, God bless. Take care in the meantime.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate that. I think we try a little bit. Wintertime's always a bit slower for us.
Right now, I feel like I'm coming down with something. So,
well, we had 4 sick kids this week, so wouldn't surprise me. Bit of a stomach bug. So far, it's just the kids, thankfully.
Well, that, and I think I ate something I shouldn't, and then I get mouth breaks out.
I love sanctions because anyway, I don't have a job. I don't know why anybody would like sanctions. Polish pastor Arthur in Calgary again has problems. He fed homeless people in the streets and government don't like it. Yeah, they're always after that guy. Yeah, it doesn't make no sense. How can anybody be bothered by a man feeding homeless people?
Yeah,
Canada's got problems. What do you think about Soviet Union and communism in general? I think that most of what I've been told is wrong. And so I'm not going to make any kind of an opinion or judgment on that because all the information I have is Western information. And the longer I'm in this beautiful country, the more I realize that we have been so lied to in the West. So I cannot make a comment on that. I don't. It would be.
I don't understand it.
Don't understand the comment?
No, I don't understand what it all means. Like
communism and
considering what we were told about it, right?
Yes, yeah. What we've been told is wrong. So therefore, we need to now get accurate information before we can pretend to know. I am sure you prefer Christian Russia, 100%. Excuse me.
Somebody just said that if you open, right here, if you open a bank account in Sberbank, they will help you with the SIM card. No, that's not.
If you open a bank account in Sberbank, they will help you with a SIM card. Part of the authentication process can go through a bank, but how does that help a tourist showing up? Let's say you just showed up at the airport today. You're going to go for a visit. First thing that I did coming off the plane was got myself a SIM card. I went to the Beeline kiosk, got a SIM card,
at the airport.
Showed them my passport, got a SIM card, popped it in my phone, and now I'm good to go. Now, today, that's not possible. That tourist comes off the plane. He is not able to get a SIM card. It's not allowed. So what is he going to do? How is he going to order a taxi? Assuming he has no friends in this country, he doesn't know anybody. He can't order a taxi now because he has no phone that works. So Yandex won't work. He can't even order a pizza. If he doesn't speak Russian, he can't use Google Translate or Yandex Translate to communicate with anyone. The phone simply just won't work. So it's very, very unfortunate. And as far as Sberbank, he can't open up a bank account. Like when I opened my bank account, I had to have a phone number. I know the new Canadians that came here as well, they needed a phone number. And banking here in Russia is super high tech. It's very well done. And so you need a phone number and preferably a smartphone. It almost doesn't work without a smartphone. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure how they're going to accomplish this. Somebody's going to have to figure it out. It's a bit of a pain right now. Will you give up Canadian citizenship to get Russian citizenship since Russia does not have dual citizenship? Russia does have dual citizenship. That's not true. You do not need to give up your citizenship when coming here. yeah, you're more than welcome to keep as many citizenships as you like. Terrible news about Calgary pastor. Thanks for the information. Yeah, I haven't personally heard that yet, but I know he's been under attack many times in Calgary. Greetings from Saskatchewan. My aunt always made kvass in the summer months. I am Hutterite. Oh, there you go. Yep. Well, Hutterites have a Russian connection for sure, too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from Canada. To love your story. Half the sentence missing, maybe. I'm not sure. John Smith. Russia does allow dual citizenship. Owl of Light. Sergey, it would be good. I used to watch streams. You could always turn on subtitles in Russia. The last video also came out without them. You can never do subtitles on a live. Only afterwards. Are there any chances to get your crypto back? Oh, I wish. Yeah. So we lost 15,000 US on that crypto, and it's gone. I don't think we'll ever see it back, unfortunately. Mira, they want to arrest him again. We need to pray for him. He's absolutely great, man. What for? Did they say what for? Like, I know during the COVID times they were trying to, say he was supposed to stay in his house or whatever, but what possible issues do they have with him now? Boston, it's 2 p.m. Second coffee. Yeah, we got so many time zones on here, right? So it's cool. Ramiro, nice farm you got in Russia. Greetings from Indiana. Thank you very much. Yeah, we're looking forward to developing that more this year and getting some animals added to the mix. Svetlana, the last video is an old video where they're still in Canada. That's why there is no translation. Oh, yeah. We're probably talking about the last one, the birthday.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
So that's a mix up there.
Yeah. I just noticed it came up on my, I don't know, page or something, and I noticed that it was unlisted on the video. So I just clicked it to public, and for some reason YouTube put it as our recent video. So I have no idea. Yeah. That's a 3-year-old video.
It's not Ariana's birthday. It's an old video that was made in our old home in Canada 3 years ago. Anyway, so everybody's wishing Ariana a happy birthday today.
We thank you for that. It's coming soon, but
her birthday is coming up here in March shortly. So. Are you going to get permanent residence or citizenship? Eventually, yeah. We a minimum 8 months to permanent residency if we can pass a language test, and we have 3 years from when was it Friday? From Friday, we have 3 years to get permanent residency, and if we want to do it faster, we'd have to wait minimum 8 months. Then we could apply, and then there's a 4-month wait. Then so earliest possible that we could have permanent residency would be 1 year, unless a miracle happens. They were obviously in Moscow when Ariana had her birthday, so they didn't take a picture of him at home. No. Ariana's birthday is in March. It's still coming up. I have listened carefully, and I believe I understood why some people are complaining about the sound level. Your speaking volume tends to fluctuate quite a bit. Cautiously, I dare to conclude that. Yeah, it could be because of my mic. Maybe it's too low. I don't know.
Could be that you move around a lot.
I do. I don't know where else I would put it, though. See if that helps out, maybe. Maybe. What did I see here? I've missed the beginning of the live today. Have a lovely day and evening, everyone. You as well, Mariana. Amsterdam. When the topics shift towards Russia-sensitive matters, your voice becomes softer, and there seems to be a decline in clarity, articulation, and overall distinctness. I think this is what some... not sure why that would be. There's no Russia-sensitive matters.
Some people are noticing.
People are noticing. I wish you all the best. Russia is also a beautiful country with great potential for farmers, I suspect. There is, yep. New Zealand, Monday morning. Where's Stalingrad at? Have any problems of foreigners being? have any problems with
probably a translation.
Hey guys, cheers from Alberta. Thank you. Our team, Mariana, thank you, and all the best. Angels, haven't seen your upper floor for a long time. Is it ready yet? Can you show it? Not much has changed. I still got some trim to do up there. I still got to hook the radiators up, although it's plenty warm, I think. How is the son in Canada? I hope he is okay. He's doing great. What happened with your crypto? Did you get scammed or what? So I was moving it through a friend. I would send it to my friend. He would buy, I don't understand crypto myself. He would buy the crypto and then move it into Russia for me, and then to another friend, and they would cash it out, and then I would get it in my bank. And that worked out very well multiple times. The last two times, we did a larger amount, and I think that flagged it. Basically, they flagged it as money laundering potentially, and it was through the crypto platform Binance, and Binance then sent a message to his bank in Georgia, and actually they seized his Georgian bank account, closed it down, and the Binance portion is gone. And then the Bank of Georgia eventually, through lawyer action, we got that opened up again. And so the whatever money we had in his bank account there is back, but the stuff in Binance is gone. Now, why exactly? I don't understand all the ins and outs of it. We had people looking into it for a long time, and it doesn't seem like there's any way of getting it back. Anonymous SIM cards from Latvia working perfectly in Russia, roaming, and can be used for any nasty activity. Whole security argument with SIM cards from authorities looks silly. Yeah, I don't know all the ins and outs of it. I just know that it's going to negatively affect tourism, and it's silly. Like it's not thought out very well, and it's hard to do that because every action always has ramifications, and sometimes things that we don't think of. And I think this is one of those cases where they just didn't think of tourism, or didn't think of foreigners that are coming here. Like, how are we supposed to get a phone card, right? So. Sound is perfect. Sound is good. Mallory, when is your Belarus going to be back? It came back on Friday. It is here. How I love this family. When I watch the videos, I always have tears in my eyes. They are extraordinary. To come to a foreign country without even having been there, in which there is a special military operation. This is such heroism and trust. Yeah, we believe we had to do what we had to do. Thank you very much. I guess looking back, yeah, I suppose so. It is. But I mean, it was what we needed to do, and we felt like we had to do, and we did it. So I don't know. I don't look at us as any kind of heroes or nothing. Arjum, the Volgograd authorities have officially fixed the symbolic meaning of the name Stalingrad and used it as part of a commemorative events. For example, 9 days a year the city bears this name. Interesting.
Interesting.
Mountain Creek, hey guys, was wanting to ask y'all what Russian history books are y'all using to learn Russian history, or what book would you recommend to start learning Russian history with in English? I actually had one. Unfortunately, I lost it. I wonder where. Okay.
I think you found it again, didn't you?
Well, I tried to find it online, but it's not available in Russian, unfortunately. The house that we were staying at in Georgia had a whole library of books, and the guy was wanting to sell his house, and so actually while we were renting it, they sold, and all the books were up for grabs, so we were allowed to pick some. So I had picked a bunch of books out, and one of them was this history book, and it had, it was great. It was all the way back from the beginnings all the way through to today, or to the 90s, and unfortunately, I don't know what happened to it. So
I think it was when we had the bug issue.
So I don't know. A lot of information, of course, is available online. Lots through YouTube. You got to find the right YouTube channels, of course. The Western perception of Russian history is slanted towards the West a lot of times. Like if you think of World War II stuff, we were never, ever taught the massive role that Russia played in World War II. There's these guys on the East that, they did something, but USA has always been the hero of World War II, and that is totally false, right? So, yeah, more and more, the longer I stay here, the more I'm learning is like we've been lied to. So I can't recommend any Russian books. Somebody in the comments, please make recommendations.
And obviously they're an English person, so they might want to learn it in English.
English, so. Yeah. Yep. Interesting. They're saying here, you come to Sverige to open a bank account. They can open one for foreigners. They would ask if you have a Russian SIM card. If you do not, they will offer a Sverige SIM card for you. I did it.
Does that SIM card temporary?
Does it work like for phoning as well then?
It's probably so they can just do the SMS.
Maybe. Very interesting.
Like that's since this thing changed like a couple weeks ago.
Oh, yeah, good point. See, even that Sverige SIM card, you may end up not being able to get that anymore. Have you done it recently? Because the law just changed in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 to 3 weeks.
Now I have to try to see your comment when it comes back. Will you be able to get your home registered soon? There's a few things bureaucratically in the way of that, unfortunately. And one of them was getting our temporary residency. So we had a bunch of stuff filed, then found that we couldn't do that we couldn't do that under the asylum paperwork. So now this week we have some appointments scheduled again, and we will try to refile those paperwork under temporary residency, which will then proceed the next thing and the next thing, and hopefully, yes.
You have to be patient when you live here.
Marianne, I want to meet them and hug them all. That's my wish. Thank you for choosing Russia, our great country. No, thank you. It'll be a little weird when we run into you for the first time. We have no idea who you are, and you start hugging us. But
I take it.
Yeah. I guess. Binance blocked any transactions to and from Russia that are higher than $10,000. Maybe that's the reason. That would be the reason, because it was higher. Yeah. Archie, Mountain Creek Ranch. There are no textbooks on Russian history in English. I recommend Spitzin in his textbook. You and your family are the great example for all of us. We wish you all the best in your journey. God bless.
Thank you.
Have you got your tools sent from Canada? Some of them. I still have, I don't know. Well, I got lots there, but I mean, as far as what I actually want here, they're power tools. Is all I got wrenches and screwdrivers and all sorts of stuff. But mainly the power tools. I would say there's like a half a suitcase or maybe a full suitcase. I'm not sure left there. Do you drink coffee or chicory? Both. What cheeses are you planning to make? Oh, I don't know. I don't know enough about cheeses. I love cheddar cheese, so that'd be one of them, but probably some more specialty stuff. We have to learn a lot about cheese. We made what's called farm cheese back in Canada. Not super fancy.
I would call it cottage cheese.
Maybe. It was very possible that this SIM card thing is being done for a good reason that we don't understand. These things. Oh, it is 100%. Yeah, it's a terrorism thing. I think it's a great thing. It's just not completely thought out as far as tourism is concerned.
This one.
Tara, where do I find it? What do I do? I don't know if I did this right, but Tara Salgado 3, and again I forget that. Is that the Euro one?
Mm-hmm.
So many that are similar. Super chat. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The one right below it is a good one.
Do you have Russian SNILs already? It allows you to register Gasaslugi, or are you registered Gasaslugi? We got the SNILs a long time ago. Actually, within the first 2 months, I think, or something. Because we were originally told we needed it in order to get our medical stuff. So we got the SNILs, and then told we had to go to Gasaslugi. So we tried the Gasaslugi, but SNILs has to be able to communicate with Gasaslugi, and it couldn't. And so they said, well, it takes time to get here. Maybe come back in a week and try again. So we came back in a week and tried again, and then they could see mine but not hers or something. Could they see mine?
Yeah, but they sent you the SMS, and it wouldn't come through.
And that wouldn't come through. And anyway, it's not an easy thing. I've had this discussion with a lot of Russians, and they think that Gasaslugi is like really good, and it doesn't work for foreigners. It's a royal pain, actually. And you talk to many foreigners, they all say the same thing. We have not tried it again since then. But I've talked to others that have been here for a long time and are still having troubles with it.
Yeah, somebody said recently they were having troubles with it, and it can take up to a month to get everything figured out. And if you're coming here on a tourist visa for a couple of weeks,
that wouldn't work.
That wouldn't work at all.
So, and then after the Gustaslugi part's done, then you still got a bunch more steps. So, warm greetings to you from the cold north.
Hello.
Thank you very much. Natalie, what kind of work are you planning to do in the house in the near future? Will there be an overview of the whole house and not just the kitchen?
I hope so.
It's very interesting what has already been done. My goal, and that doesn't mean it's going to be done. My goal is by June. When did we start here? June 7th, 8th?
The 18th.
Anyway, our 1 year anniversary on this
like
farm.
We bought it by the 6th, but we broke ground on the house on the 18th.
18th. So by June 18th of 2025, I am trying to have the house done, the guest house done, and the workshop done. That's kind of my goal, but
okay,
we'll see.
Said it out loud.
Yeah, don't hold me to it. We'll see.
I was really hoping that he would already have a lot of the house finished, and we have a lot of stuff started and a lot of the stuff bought and ready to finish the inside of the house. But as you have been aware, that it's been a really, really warm winter, and he has spent a lot of his time outside because of how warm it is, and hasn't gotten to the inside work. So maybe we could pray for some colder weather, and then he'll work inside. That would be great. No, it's a work in progress. I just said the other day that the Lego room upstairs, they have wood cut to put on the walls in there, and the wood's in the hallway upstairs still, and they haven't put it in the room. And I'm like, can we like do something with the wood so we don't have to keep tripping over it? But we plan on doing a whole house tour once we're done. But obviously, we have to be patient and wait. All right. So I feel you deliberately delaying buying furniture for the house and fixing the exterior of the house until you secure the purchase of incoming assets. I don't know. Why would we be doing that?
What's that?
This person says, I feel you deliberately delaying buying furniture for the house and fixing the exterior of the house until you secure the purchase of incoming assets, like cattle, chickens, cheese.
I feel you're deliberately delaying buying furniture for the house.
I just kind of answered that it's warm outside and it hasn't been a cold winter, so.
So working outside.
So you're working outside, so.
Well,
if they wanted to help with the inside getting done, that they could pray for cold weather. That's what they said.
No, but I mean, we have chairs, we have tables, we have enough in the house. Like, we're not super needy. Yeah, we'd like a couch eventually, but
it's a lot of money.
We went shopping a couple times. We looked at couches, and I'm like,
a lot of money. I just can't justify spending that much money.
Yeah, we can better use that money someplace else. So
yeah,
we don't really need the couch. Nobody's suffering because of a lack of. We have everything that we need. Put it that way.
Yeah.
As far as the outside of the house, the siding's here. It's been here for a long time. It's sitting in the container. Just a matter of finding time to put it on, and it's not super important. I mean, the house is waterproof.
Yeah, it's not like we
just looks.
Sit around and do nothing.
It's much more important to get the cattle and the animals, the gardens, the fences, and the workshop going, because that will then generate an income. Putting siding on the house is just make it look pretty.
Even doors on my kitchen cupboards are not necessity.
Yeah, it's not important.
Actually, I thought the other day it would be nice, because then all that little drips off the counter and stuff would be less likely to drip in my cupboard, and I could
we'll get there.
Not have to wipe the cupboards every day, the dust too. Yeah, we'll get there.
Are your children already asleep? Well, some of them are. Some of them are probably goofing in their beds, and 3 of them are still awake reading books on the other side of the wall.
The older ones.
Yeah.
How did you like Moscow? I liked it.
Where are you?
In Moscow. It was nice, but I was very happy to come back to Nizhny. It's definitely a city. It's bigger. It's busier. It's so busy.
A lot of busyness.
I found it was so exhausting on the subways. I'm glad we experienced it as a family, but I just feel like I couldn't do that every day. It was just so exhausting. I don't know how people do that. right? Like so exhausting.
And it takes long to get places.
Yeah,
like it's convenient and yet not. We tried it just for fun, but we went to the agricultural expo twice, 2 different days. So it took us
3.5.
No,
almost 3. Sorry, almost 2.5, almost 3.
Oh, I was gonna say almost 2 hours.
No, it was ridiculous.
Anyway, it took us a really long time on the subway, and we had to go like train to subway, subway to train to another subway, something like that. Anyway, and it was quite a juggle to get there, which is fun. We made it.
Yeah, we made it.
But it's like, man, that took a big chunk of our day, and then we had to leave in decent time because we had to do it all the way back. And the next day we went, and it was like 20 minutes in the car or something. So
it was 23 minutes because we took the wrong street and had to go around that one building. Otherwise, it would have been 16 minutes from where we were. And we laughed when we figured that out. I'm like, you realize it was only 16 minutes away by car? What? Yeah.
How did you? Oh, you read that already. Would you consider making a guest house to rent out?
Yeah, we are. Lost it. Yeah, we're thinking about doing.
So we have a guest house now, but we are planning on building cabins to rent out. I would like to have those ready by spring as well, but we'll see how it goes. So yeah, for sure, we are. Bureaucracy equals bureaucracy. Oh yeah, absolutely, and it's everywhere, right? Like it's and the bigger government gets, the more stuff that's just whatever. One agency makes a ruling for this and then doesn't think about how it affects. It's hard to think of everything. We're not saying one government's like that everywhere. There's things in Canada that I used to shake my head at. You'd be on the phone. At least I can do it in my own language then, but on the phone with somebody trying to deal with something. Galina Beckler, $9.99 super chat. Thank you very much for the help. I thought there was 2 up here. I don't know where the other one went.
I'm not sure. It might be down.
This one's done. I don't know.
This is the one I think you see. But it's not a super chat. It's just an extra thing.
Okay. $4.99.
Thank you.
Those are not super chats?
I'm not sure what they are. Victoria.
Sticker. Thank you. What did I do now?
No idea.
There it is. How do I get this off my screen?
Just stop touching it and go to the other side.
You have to? No. It keeps coming back. So I told
you. Maybe I am.
Oh. It's still there, isn't it? What are you going to do now?
I don't know. Why is it doing that?
I don't know.
What did you do? You broke my computer.
Probably broke your computer. Try clicking back on this lady. And then clicking off of that one. Oops, I already thumbed that up. Okay, now. Aha! I fixed.
No, I did it. It was my.
Well, yeah, but I told you how to do it. Man, good fella. I was watching your interview with Sasha. Yeah, it was pretty good, eh? She did a good job on that video. Hello from Slovenia. You've done so much in a year. Not enough. I have plans for more. We'll try again this year.
I know. I got lots in my brain too. I wish my brain though could like filter so that I can get other people to see my vision.
Plug it in on the computer and print it out. Do you allow your children to watch films, listen to music, play video games, etc. that you approve of? No video games. No need for that. Music, yep. Depending on what it is, we listen to lots of music. We love to sing as well.
Christian music.
And watch films. Again, depends on what it is. Yep. Only wholesome stuff though.
We're very picky.
Yep. Question for Aaron: what phone do you have? I like the quality of its video and the powerful optical zoom. Excuse me. I have a Samsung S22 Ultra.
And I have a 23.
And he says 23. Now, while I was in Russia here, actually my phone started getting very bad quality. It's like the camera started, I don't know what's going on. So I ended up getting another one. This is a refurbished S22 that I bought here. It's the same phone again, S22, but I actually have 2 of them now. And the older one, the picture quality really went downhill.
Yeah, still the kids use it the odd time, but
the reason I like this, like I know you can get better quality camera and maybe better quality video with some of the other types of cameras, but they're big and bulky. This thing, I mean, it serves a purpose. I need it for phoning and for texting anyway, for emailing or for banking. It slips right into my pocket, and it's got a great camera on it. And I can't imagine actually carrying another camera around. It's just, where would I set it when I'm trying to work? I can dump this back in my pocket, jump over a fence, and go pull out a calf if I need to. So convenient.
That was true farmer talk right there.
Hi from Canada, New Brunswick. Are you planning to build a banya in the future? Yeah, possibly. Now that I've experienced at least a little bit of it. I mean, many people said we did it all wrong, but whatever. It was enjoyable. Did you know that 96 countries export vegetables and fruits to Russia? I didn't know the exact number, but it does not surprise me. And that's why, again, I always say there's opportunities, because the vast majority of the food could be grown right here in Russia, and should be. Why wouldn't it be, right? There's Russian people here. There are people here. I've heard people complaining about how they can't make a living farming here, and yet we're importing food from other countries. And you thinking how much fuel it takes to stuff all that in a container, first on a truck to the shipping yard, into a container, then load it on a boat, then pilot that boat all the way over to here, unload it on another truck, yada yada yada. That's not cheap. I think we can grow food here cheaper. We just need to change how we do it, maybe adapt to different climate, but it can be done. Anyone know if they've changed their driver's license? There are 45 days left until it's valid. We have a full year to change our driver's license from the time we receive temporary residency. So we do not have to worry about it.
At the moment.
Yet. Jazzy Josie. Oh, wow. Just found you live. Hi from Winnipeg.
Hello.
Hello, Winnipeg. Orthodox grows on you slowly. It makes sense to me. A lot of things do. The biggest thing is that we've been raised. You see, this is something I could do a whole segment on this, I think, but the vast majority of Western Christianity, I would say almost all of Western Christianity, comes from Catholic originally during the Great Reformation. And in the breakaway from Catholic Church, the people that left, what we would call Protestants, decided anything Catholic was bad. And so they threw out a lot of good things as well. A lot of things that were in the church that made sense also got thrown out, because anything that was Catholic was bad. That was the mindset. And they threw it all out and started over. And so also a lot of things like pictures in churches, stained glass windows, crosses on top of churches, a lot of the churches, not all, but a lot of them threw that out as well. And so what I would have grown up with, we didn't have a cross. I remember when the church, some of the people wanted to put a steeple on the church, and other people were like, there was a big argument. Like, we can't have a steeple, that's too fancy. You can't have stained glass windows. We couldn't have a cross. And the cross represents Christianity, represents Christ, but no, we can't have that displayed in the church. And that's where it comes from, and people need to understand that. So for someone to go from Protestant type religion to Orthodoxy is a huge jump again, because think of all the pictures, all the iconography, all the symbolism that is in the Orthodox Church. That's a huge leap, just because the whole life they've been ingrained that it's bad. Anyway, just interesting thing.
Oops.
What was that one? Have there been any new meetings or consultations with State Duma Deputy Marina Butina, who oversees immigration issues? No, we don't personally have anything to do with her. We're looked after. Yeah, we've met her. Seems like a really nice lady, and she really seems passionate about helping immigrants, which is great. We're well looked after right here in Nizhny Novgorod. Our governor is just as passionate about it and really wants to help immigrants, and therefore he set up the OCA agency here, and they're tasked with doing more or less, I think, the same things that Maria is.
But she's obviously in a higher position.
Yeah, she's in a different position, but yeah. So I mean, our needs are met. I'm not really concerned about it that way, but I think working together, a lot of good stuff can be done.
Yeah.
The more people that are on board, the more people that
and
want
she's
to
working together.
Yeah.
As with this group as well.
$5 super chat from Homestanding. Thank you very much for this. For all of you guys, so we really appreciate it. Doesn't matter how big or how small, we just really appreciate the help. Where do the Canadians who help you on the property live? Not too far away, like 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes away. We help them find an apartment, and that's where they're living right now. Do you need to change your driver's license? No, not yet. Soon. Some countries, I believe it's some kind of Genevan Convention, maybe. I can't remember anymore, but some countries signed off on it. So depending on where you come from to Russia, you can just swap your license over to a Russian one. Canada, unfortunately, is one of those countries that did not sign that. And so you can't just swap it over. But we still have a year before we have to do that. Tired? Yeah, I can feel it in my eyes too.
Yeah.
We're almost an hour. Yeah, we're an hour now. So, are you planning building greenhouses this year? I spent 2.5 hours this morning researching greenhouses again. I've already researched lots before, and we've been wanting to build a greenhouse for years, just couldn't afford it. Will it be this year? I built a small one, but that's for a chicken pen right now. I would like to build a greenhouse this year. Yes. I don't know if I'll get to it though.
Snoop Dogg is banned in the Feenstra house. Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think he should be banned in everyone's house. Like everyone's house.
Don't get a Samsung 24 as it's hard to charge. Oh, really? Why haven't you put cladding on your house? Because it's not that important and I haven't got to it yet. Are you Orthodox or Catholic? Neither one, actually. We don't belong to any denomination. We are floating around. Well, not floating around, that sounds bad too, but we're just conservative Christians. Holders of foreign driver's license who have obtained citizenship in Russia, a residence permit or temporary residence permit a year ago or more will also need to replace their rights in 2025. Yes. But you have 1 year from the time you receive temporary residence. So people whose time are up, people who have been here for a year or 2 or 3 already, need to all get their driver's license done before April. Sorry, I meant to write more after that comment. I get Russian pop music earworms. Meaning,
this one is the same. Same
Where
person.
This?
No, the music.
This one. Sigma Boy?
Yes, and then it goes down here. Sorry, meant to.
Meaning the music gets stuck in my head.
Oh, okay.
Hello from Oxford County, Ontario.
Hello.
Rhonda, I hope you will use the drone more. It was great quality. Nice to see the views from above. Yeah, it makes for nice shots, eh? Once in a while, not too much. I'd like to do it this summer. Well, I love doing it every summer when I'm doing farm equipment work as well. And then you can get some shots of mowing hay and things like that. So, hello, good morning from Australia.
Hello.
6 a.m. now. Not wild, eh? So neat, all the different time zones. Another Canadian family likes to keep their privacy. Yeah, they're not super public, for sure.
My 8-month daughter watches your
Showing
streams.
a definite interest.
Cool.
A little farmer there. Why haven't you put cladding on your house? Didn't had a Tom Shank pony? He answered that question 100 times.
It's okay.
Oh, it's this one here. Okay. Hello, my dears. Do your children plan to teach in university?
Learn.
It always translates funny. Learn in university. No, I doubt it. I actually recommend that they don't go to university. I don't feel there's a need for it, unless there's specifically something to do.
But we're not opposed to it.
Oh, not opposed to it. No. If
them.
actually, I've been talking to Wes about it lately a lot. Maybe because he likes kind of engineering and things like that. You know, maybe at some point you might want to consider doing that, learning at a higher level, right? So, but the reason I say I encourage them not to is because in the West there's this huge movement. Every kid has to go to college and university after grade 12. So college means something different in Canada. Here, college is like the last few years of your schooling. In Canada, you go through 12 years of school and then you either go to college or university or both. And a lot of kids get stuck in this trap that they have to go, and it costs the parents thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Like people will graduate with 50, 60, 70, 80, $100,000 of debt with a degree and can't find a job.
Yeah, don't even have a job.
And so I recommend don't do that. You can make so much more money farming or in construction and not go with all that debt unless you want to do something, like you want to be an accountant or you want to be a doctor or you want to be something that you need extra education for, then go. But most kids in Canada just go because, well, that's what you do. After grade 12, you go to university, and they don't really have an idea of what they want to do or what they want to be.
Same thing here. I find the same thing here.
Well, at least here it's free.
Yeah, but they're still specializing in something.
Yes.
Right? And I find like we just had somebody the other day that was translating for us, and she's teaching at the college, or
Mm.
what's it called? Yeah, it's
Linguistic.
the linguistic college. She says it's like 16-year-olds and 17-year-old people that she's teaching, but she's only making 1,000 rubles a day doing that. And I'm like, you just went through 4 years of university, and now you're only making $1,000 or
No,
1,000 rubles a day.
Mm.
Like that to me is
It's pretty low.
Yeah.
So anyway, I don't recommend. I mean, it's not for everybody. Some people definitely should need to go to school, but I didn't. I quit high school. I got grade 11 and I had enough. I wanted to go to work full time, and I've been working ever since. We've been very successful, and I don't have any regrets of not going to university.
Yeah, you have a drive or
I have a hunger for knowledge. So, like I spent this morning, I spent 2.5 hours researching greenhouses. I guess you could probably say that's a university level as well. Maybe, who knows? You can self-teach yourself a lot.
Mm.
If you have snails, then try to show it at reception at local Polinka and say you want to have maybe in a way you can get made insurance. I doubt it. I'm pretty sure you have to go through the steps of Gustus Lugi to get it. Montenegro is a country on the Mediterranean Sea, part of the former Yugoslavia, and Montenegro is also a city in Colombia, South America. Maybe that's right on. Svetlana, $10 super chat. How come there's no thumb up option on this guy?
Because it's a sticker thing or whatever it's called.
Oh, it showed up on the top though.
Oh, then I'm not sure.
Let's celebrate their first super on a live stream.
Oh, yay! Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I don't know what to do though. It's stuck on my screen now. There we go. We can't hear you. Most people can. So. Greenhouses is a thing here. A lot of companies selling plastic ones and frames, 40,000 euros for an 8-meter one on average. Okay, so I just spent more than that then. I bought a 4-meter one for 25,000 rubles, I think is what it was. Which I still think is like, it's really cheap. It's a decent frame. I mean, there's a video coming up of me assembling it. It's a decent quality frame. I mean, it's not super, but it's not that much money either. And then it's got the plastic to go over top of it. Very simple instruction. All the bolts and hardware, everything's there. It's got a door for the front and the back. I was pretty happy with it. We'll see how long it lasts, but I see them all over the place. Everybody has one. What I want to do though is build one, like a bigger one that I can use all seasons, wintertime as well. How did you choose the region to buy the land? We believe God chose it for us. Basically, through Timur, our lawyer, he found 2 regions, Kaluga and Nizhny Novgorod, and in both they offered us immigration quota, and that was at that time was necessary in order to come, and so we chose Nizhny Novgorod. Yeah, we believe God led us in that decision. So no regrets on that. That's been absolutely great, and we're very, very glad we did because it's been very good for us so far. Ron, you should get an MRI of your entire spine and head. It saved me from a life in a wheelchair. Hernia disc can also push inside. An MRI will show if you have any disc. Yeah, I've done that. I got hip MRIs of my everything from here to my lower back. And then just recently I did my lower back, I guess, and hip to see that one. So. All right, we should just moving on. And greetings from St. Pete. Has the tractor finally been repaired? So will this barn under construction be for cows or just a workshop? Tractor, they went through the whole thing, tried to figure out what was wrong with it, and put it all back together. It's one of those times where they didn't really find anything, unfortunately. So they think it's fixed. I tried it. So far, I have no problems. So we'll see. As far as the building, a part of the building is for cattle and a part of it is for workshop. Hello from Krasnodar. Hope you'll come to our Black Sea to rest some summer. I would love to come down there. Summertime's pretty busy for us. I was thinking wintertime would be better. I would love to still
see it, like maybe not busy season, but warm enough season and like green enough season. Right? I don't want to go in like really, like I found in Georgia. We went to the Black Sea and but it was like still really cold and kind of gray. I wanted to I want to see when it's like luscious and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Same with Crimea.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Hi from South Africa. We just love your guts and faith.
Guys.
Thank you very much. No, your guts probably makes sense. That would make sense in
Okay.
English. So. Hi from South Africa. You guys are facing some issues down there as well. I wish I could remember. There was a guy from South Africa who used to comment and invited us to come down to South Africa because he said it was totally safe. But now there's been a new couple of laws passed in South Africa, again, targeting white farmers. And curious to know how that's going now. With such a large family and everyone speaking in English, when do you find time to learn the language? Well, today we had an English lady here again.
Russian.
A Russian lady here for 3 hours again. She only speaks Russian and she teaches our children. And of course, we listen a little bit as well. She comes twice a week for about 3 hours each time, sometimes a bit longer. And so that's obviously a lot of instruction. And then we also have online teachers. Both Cora and Wes receive 1 hour a week, roughly, or 2 hours a week.
Cora has 2, Wes has 1, but I just found somebody else to do another.
For Wes.
So. Right, but he might have like 3.
Oh, yeah. So, and then there's everyday life, going to the stores, wherever. We try to speak as much as we know how to. Hello from Sweden. I wish you and your family in Russia. When your kids get older, they would probably make their own choices whether they need higher education or not. I graduated from university in Russia, and I can tell you that it's worth it.
Yeah.
It depends on what you're doing, which makes it worth it or not, right? So Cora does not want, she wants to be a stay-at-home mom. So what would going to university benefit her? That's what she keeps saying too. And she's right.
She studies what she wants to learn. She studies at home, still studying. Right? It's like
you can learn everything online nowadays anyway. Right. But her plan is to get married and have children and be at home. And so, I mean, she's right. Why would you go to university for 4 years? It's kind of a waste of time. President Putin made life much easier for any Western people with immigration law change. Yes, absolutely. I bet you wish CNH would come back to Russia. I love CNH, and I can buy every Case International tractor that I would like here in this country. There is lots of them around. There's actually a Maxim 140 that I keep eyeing up. Problem is the price tag. It's just crazy. You can buy a brand new Polaris for like 3-4 million, depending on the size, rubles, versus a used, that Maxim used, I think it was 8.5 million rubles. That's used. So price what? Yeah, I mean the Maxim is, Case International is hands down way better than the Polaris. But do I need all that luxury? Do I need all that? I mean, I would like it, I would want it, but it's just not affordable. It's too expensive. So anyway, they are here. I mean, you can still buy everything. You can import everything. Parts are still available. I'm actually going to be looking at a new Holland baler here soon. It's still here. $20 Canadian super chat. I think these are super chats, are they not?
Stickers.
Yeah, let's celebrate their first super.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Mrs. Smith, on your first super. Miss Smith. Oh yeah, Mrs. would have an R, right?
Yeah, it's a Ms.
Ms. Smith. $20 super chat. Thank you very much. There's no thumb up. I don't understand why some do, some don't. Yeah, I would give you a thumb up if I could, but there's no option.
Thank you.
My parents have 2 8-meter greenhouses in the same region. Mother started growing plants from March and then planting them to the greenhouses at the end of April. They are growing stuff until October. Yeah, I even noticed this little greenhouse. I noticed it the other day. It was cold outside. It was still cold in the greenhouse, but it was noticeably warmer. And I had to literally just kind of set it there. I mean, I didn't have the plastic on for that long yet, I don't think. But maybe an hour or something, 2 hours, I don't know. But I went out there and I was filming the end of the video, and then I went into the greenhouse. I'm like, wow, it's actually considerably warmer in here. Wes could easily earn 30,000 pounds, I think that is, a year right now in the UK doing joinery and construction. All the time he's learning more from Arend. What benefit would university be? Exactly. In Canada, when we were there, we worked for ourselves, and Wes would come with me on construction all the time. And I would charge $50 an hour for me and $25 an hour for Wes. And never had it. I always told customers, if you don't like that, if after we're done you don't think he's worth that, you go ahead and let me know. No, not one person ever let me know. And yeah. I mean, why would a guy like that need to go to university or college? It all depends on your skill sets.
You know what he said the other today in the one video that they were making is he was saying the one thing he missed is from Canada is custom work. In Canada, he can drive a tractor and do tractor work, and he was doing tractor work at 12 years old. We had him, was it 12 or 13?
Was it now? He just turned 15, so I think we're 13 probably.
13 years old.
He's been driving since he was 8.
No, but we were actually, he was doing custom work.
All summer by himself.
All summer in the baling hay for people all summer long. And that's one thing he says he misses a lot here is that he won't be able to drive the tractor to somebody else's.
Yeah. In Canada, you're supposed to be 14 to drive a tractor on the road, but
but you would, a lot of times if it was too far away, you would drive the tractor there.
Yeah, and then just drop him off.
And then just drop him off in the field.
Which I could do that here too. He's just not allowed to drive on the road, that's all.
I don't know. He's not allowed to work for other people, I don't think, here until you're a certain age too.
Nobody looks, it'd be alright. I imagine. But yeah, I mean, at 13 years old, he would be all summer long. He was out with the tractor. He would take the tractor from home, go mow somebody's hay, and then bale it all up later.
Right, but that's one thing he said he missed. Right from Canada is that he can't do that here.
Trump is in the process of changing domestic policies from leftist agenda back to traditional and Christian values. Do you consider variants of going back to Canada given those changes? Well, Trump is not Canada, so those changes are not the same as in Canada. And the other problem is that the trajectory has already been set. I mean, Trump is coming in now, but he's only in for 4 years. I'm hopeful that he will make a lot of changes, but you can already see it now. There's already a lot of people that are having a fit because of the changes he's trying to make, which to most of us are common sense changes, but there is still people that don't like it. And that's what I said all along. You still have about half the population that likes the degeneracy and the bad direction the country was going. Canada's got the same problem. About half the people think Canada's doing great today, and half the people don't. And so, although the next election might get in a guy or girl who will push the country in the right direction again, ultimately, there's a larger problem at hand. It's because the general population doesn't all want change. Right? It's a 50-50 split. So Trump can spend 4 years doing all the right stuff. Then somebody else might get voted in and it'll go right back again. All the executive orders can be wiped out in day one. Right? So that sounds good, but it's not really a fix. So anyway, plus Russia's been going in the right direction for 30 years and it's continued to go in the right direction. So as far as track record's concerned, I think Russia has more to offer. And if things are going well for us here, why would I move back?
Somebody just asked if you believed in laws.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. But you just said something about Wesley.
Driving tractor?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, he's allowed to drive on our land. There's no law against that. If I drive a tractor to someone else's land, he can drive a tractor in that land. There's no issues on that. He's not allowed to drive on a road. Just like in Canada, he wouldn't be allowed to drive on a road. So it's not breaking any laws.
Until he's 14.
Yeah.
Or here it's 18.
On the road.
If he has a license.
Yes, but if he's not driving on the road, there's nothing, he's not breaking any laws. So it's got nothing to do. Yes, of course I believe in laws. Steel citizen, our farmers here are being targeted in South Africa. Farm murders is a big issue here. What are the opportunities for farmers in your region of Russia? You are in our prayers. Greetings in Christ. Massive opportunities here, I think, and I think it's going to continue to grow. I've said this multiple times. I see Russia just skyrocketing in growth. A lot of food needs to be created and not needs to be produced. People keep making the argument that you get paid less here. That might be, but it also costs a lot less. You can buy farmland here a lot cheaper than you can in Canada, and I'm assuming South Africa. So those make for great opportunities. Cattle price is pretty good here right now. I was looking at it the other day, and very good. Again, compared to land prices, it's very good. You said you have lied in the West, and there you have told truth. You said that you have lied in West, and there you have told truth. I'm surprised if you really think that everything is truth now. Of course, you can't say it. Propaganda is a strong weapon. Wish you in
You were lied in the West? Maybe we were lied
maybe lived.
No, maybe we were lied to in the West.
You said that you have, let's say it's lived in West, and there you have told truth. That still wouldn't make any sense. I'm surprised if you really think that everything.
This is what education gets you, folks.
Of course, you can't say it.
Propaganda I don't know.
Is strong weapon.
No idea.
But try again, and then maybe I can
think there must be you're pushing the button without periods and.
Mike Leonard, hi Arend and Anneesa. I have been looking at PTFE for greenhouses. It lasts a lot longer than any other plastic, but is a lot more expensive. Also looking at rocket stoves for heating greenhouses. Yeah, look up Chinese passive solar greenhouse. There's guys in northern Canada. Like I had somebody tell me that you can't do a greenhouse here, especially not year round. You know, it won't work. It's too cold. Northern Alberta, there's a guy of Chinese descent. He built, well, originally one. I think he's got 4 or 5 of these greenhouses now, and they're built with a Chinese passive solar system. He doesn't have any heat in his greenhouse, and he grows in there year round. And if anybody in here knows anything about Alberta, it gets cold, like minus 40, minus 50 sometimes, and he doesn't use any heat. And we are looking at doing the same system here, similar. At what age do kids get their driver's license? 18 here.
Yeah, 18.
That in itself's not so bad. And
Cora was so disappointed.
Yeah. Saskatchewan, it's 14.
Well, she can get it in Ontario. She can be getting it 16, now. Yeah. And she's like, she was so disappointed.
Some of her friends are getting their licenses
now. She was like, can I just fly back and do my test?
Yeah. Do you think USA will invade Canada? No. Not at all. And they wouldn't have to anyway. I mean, they control Canada already. All of the trade is tied together. The defense is tied together.
Sorry, it says, Anneesa, you should start talking to each other in Russia. That way, that way, no judgment. Just a game that you can expand. It would be a really quiet day.
A short conversation.
Yeah, there'd be like 1 or 2, maybe 3 sentences at best. He wouldn't be able to last longer than 20 minutes, I don't think. He would have to talk.
I could try, but yeah. Maybe when we're sleeping, we'll try.
Yeah. It wouldn't
the U.S. will rebound back and forth between one extreme and the other, but they are also too in debt to recover. Yep. Well, and even there, okay, so they're in debt. I was discussing this with the West just yesterday. Like this, they're trying to find areas that money's been wasted. That's a great idea, and where it's being overspent. Great idea. They are accumulating a $2 trillion deficit every year. That's insane. So that's over budget. So they'd have to cut $2 trillion in spending just to be on budget, and then they still aren't paying back the debt. The debt currently is $880 billion in interest payments every year. Like that alone is a staggering amount of money. And yeah, they got a long way to go. Like you would have to cut federal spending by $4 trillion right now, and then it would still take you 18 years to pay off the debt. It's 36 trillion right now is how much is American debt. So it's crazy.
Minus 44 tonight in Saskatchewan.
Yep.
Wowzers. It's crazy.
You're selling yourself short. In the UK, daily rate would be 350 Canadian for Arend and maybe 150 Canadian for West. Need to raise the prices. Wowzers. Well, prices have gone up actually a lot since we stopped doing construction. And I know when I was charging $50 an hour, my brother was charging 87, I think it was. So I just figured for us, $50, we don't have to be greedy. 50 was enough. It paid my bills. And I think 25 was pretty good for a young guy like Wes. So for custom work, tractor work, it was about, that was with the tractor, of course, but it was about $100 an hour roughly is what it worked out to. Yeah, I've seen Amish use black water barrels in the greenhouses. Yep, same idea. It collects heat during the day. A lot of greenhouses have that problem. They get too hot during the day, which will burn your plants, but then at night there's not enough heat. So if you can capture that heat from the daytime and save it up till nighttime, that's a win-win. It cools it off during the day a little bit and heats it. So guys do that with pipes under the ground, and you can also do that with barrels of water. Don't be shy about pronouncing Russian words. You're doing it well.
Sounds cute.
How much for a heifer calf in Russia? I'm not exactly sure on a calf price, but cow price. Oh, what did I say again? You get about, I think it worked out to about 3,000. This is Canadian dollars, $3,000. Oh shoot! I gotta rack my brain here, man. I don't want to give you wrong information. I think it was about $3,000, and that was for like a 500-600 pound calf, something like that. So not breeding stock, but I feel like that's wrong. Don't quote me on that. I feel like that's wrong. I meant to say that you were lied to in the West, but now you know the truth. I am surprised if you consider everything you have just been told to be the truth. Well, who said that I consider everything that I've been told to be the truth? I never said that. All I'm saying is that I feel that what we have been told in the West is wrong. It's just like I grew up in a certain church and they told me the truth about all the other churches. And I said, okay, so you take that as the truth because that's what you're told when you're a kid. Then I grew up and I started meeting people from these other churches and I realized that what I was told wasn't true. Yeah. And it doesn't mean that what these other people told me was true either. The truth is usually in between two stories somewhere. But we need to have our eyes open and we need to listen to both sides of every story.
I feel like that with science textbooks too. Like when we were kids, we were taught a certain thing in textbooks, but then as we grew and the textbooks changed. And I'm like, okay, so everything that we learned when we were kids is no longer true. Like, yeah, it's the science textbooks only um, created by man, like, and what they've learned and what their knowledge is capable of, right? So it's the same thing with everything. I think even the history books, I'm not saying that they're lying, but I just feel like a lot of the history books are obviously certain people writing it, and everybody has their own perspective of what happened and what didn't happen. And
Mm-hmm.
so does that mean that all history books are lies? No, it just means that the perception of
truth is often distorted.
Yeah.
And history is written by the winner.
Right.
And that makes a big difference. So
Right.
people have to remember that it's there's two sides to every coin.
Right. Even like our story, I find that there's a lot of people that follow us and they know the truth because what we portray is the truth, but then there's a lot of people out there that are spreading misinformation about us, right? So which one's true? Right? So in the history of our lives later on, years down the road, there's going to be false information about us and there's going to be true information about us. So what's going to be spread about us, right?
Yep. John, foreigners can't buy land in Russia. That's not a totally truthful statement. Foreigners can buy industrial land, from foreigners can buy residential land, and foreigners can buy commercial land. Foreigners cannot buy agricultural land. But you can if you form a partnership. If you form a company with a Russian citizen and then go splits on the land, then it is possible. Excuse me. Greetings from Moscow. I'll come for groceries when you have them. That's awesome. Thank you very much, Sam. We like it very much. We care about your family, about Christian values, and your honesty, and say what you think and stand for it. God bless you and your family and all Christianity around the world.
Thank you.
Thank you. Artyom, as the entrepreneurs themselves say, today farmers and farmers find suppliers of livestock, cattle, pigs, sheep, and goats, horses by word of mouth. Oh, I should have read this other one. It is possible to profitably purchase animals and livestock from auctions on the auctions of Russian portal and aggregator of auctions for bankruptcy and seized property. Okay. What do you do when your children fight? Well, we don't allow them to fight, so.
They bicker a lot, we call it. They don't actually physically fight.
No, we never allow that.
And never. I've never been one to allow my boys to wrestle or my husband to wrestle with the children. I always tell my children when they start to behave poorly, the boys, I would always say, well, would you see your father behaving like that? And they stop for a minute and they think like, of course, usually when they're behaving poorly, it's like really ridiculous. And I'm like, can you see your father behaving like that? And they would say, no. I'm like, so why would you behave like that? If you're going to be a man like your father, you shouldn't be behaving like that. And the same thing goes for the girls. Would you see your mother behave like that? Like, would I talk to somebody like that? And then it usually makes them think, and they stop for a minute and realize that, yeah, they're being ridiculous. It's just like, if your boy jumps on the couch or something, I would say to them, would you see
we don't allow that either.
Would you see your father jumping on the couch or on the bed or
anything that's destructive?
Yeah,
we just
like
don't allow.
would you see that? Like
just like I see some people's kids go to a tree and just start yanking off branches.
Yeah,
like, why
beating up the tree?
What for? If you don't need it for firewood, why are you killing the tree? Like, leave it alone.
We went somewhere and we watched these boys and they were taking a BB gun and just shooting birds for fun. And I'm like, why would you do that? Like,
if you're not planning on eating it, you don't kill it.
Yeah, like that's God's creatures. Why would you harm them and not actually get benefit from them? Right? It just seems so sad, right? But that's usually how I end it in a hurry. Is if they're bickering, would you see your father or your mother behaving like that? And they're like, no.
Yeah. But consistency, the key to parenting is consistency, and that often gets forgotten, I think, because people get busy with stuff and so you forget about your kids. Or if you have a job and you're not actually looking after your own kids and someone else is raising them, that can also cause a problem. We're fortunate enough to be able to raise our own kids, and so it's easier to be consistent. But we still have to remember, for one, to be on the same page ourselves, and then just consistent rules all the time. And children don't fight so much. I mean, there's no need for them to fight.
I find they bicker a lot.
We're arguing about stuff like this was mine or that's yours or whatever, and that's recently more one or two. So. Actually, our older kids never did that. We're having particular problems with certain ones.
Yeah. They're a little bit more, or they're a little bit more strong-willed,
more headstrong. But we'll work through that. And of course, we don't allow it, and you just need to chase it down and eliminate it, I guess.
You know what I find actually is if you eliminate it when they're young, and this is really hard to do because we all do it and we do it more than I would like to admit, but when they are little, like Maddie's age, and they're really, really cute and they're doing that really, really cute thing, even though it's probably not a good idea because they're not going to be cute in another year after that, that's where it really counts. And it's really hard to do, but I feel like that's where I've always failed in parenting. It's like they're so cute. So you always giggle about it and you're like, oh, it's so sweet. And they're starting to do those things and you allow it. And then in another year when you're gonna have to try to curve that character out of them. Like Finley's age now. I feel like he was just like, oh, he's just so cute. And now he's kind of at that stage of that mischievous look in his eyes. And you kind of have to curve the behavior that you just told him, like last year was cute. And I think we've
one example I can think of is like I've seen people do that before. They tell their little kid to do something, and the little kid puts their hands on their hips. No, and it's so cute because it's like a 1 or 2 year old. Like, all the parents or all the people start laughing. All the grown ups. Well, you're reinforcing that behavior,
and it's hard.
Yeah, that child needs to obey the parents. Children shall obey their parents, right? And
it's hard.
You can't snicker and laugh about it, even though it is kind of cute. We would laugh about it.
Not that particular situation, but I know right now Maddie, she's like a firecracker. She's got like
but I mean privately you and I would chuckle about it. But in front of the kid we try to keep a united front all the time and keep consistency.
Yeah. I just feel like this is the crucial age. Just like I said with Maddie right now, she's at that really crucial age that, she's like mummy. She wants mummy for everything. Mummy me, like she wants mummy. And it's so cute, but like this morning she was told to do something, but she wanted mummy. Right, so it was like, oh, my heart was breaking because it's like, oh, she's so sweet. She wants her little mommy and she wants to hold me and cuddle me, but she was still disobeying, right? So she had to obey, right? Even though it was so cute and she wanted her mommy. But that's where it counts, is you have to do it when they're younger, and then it's a lot easier when they're older.
Yep. This is a great question. Do you invest in stock market? If so, which stocks do you like? And I would say no. I never invest in stock market. I know people who invest in stock market. You can make a lot of money, sure. You can also lose a lot of money. When I invest in something, it's something tangible, something I can hold on to, like farmland or cattle or a house, something that I have control over. I have no control over the stock. Some rich man can make one little tweet and destroy your stocks. That's just too risky. It's a real risk game, in my opinion. If I have surplus money, I would be buying more land. Land always goes up in value. Best thing you can buy. And depending on what country you are in, there's very favorable tax rules for farmers as well. Again, like I said, depending on where you live, Canada's got some pretty good ones. So it can really help you with your taxes as well. Good evening, our dear friend, Steel Citizen. If you ever need young, hardworking, and faithful farmers to help on the farm, contact me. Here are a lot of capable, hardworking farmers that are willing to relocate for work. You can shoot me an email. It's underneath every. I'm not looking for workers right now, but shoot me an email anyway because I'll probably forget. And I can also maybe get you in touch with other people if there are some that are willing to move or wanting to move. I'm sure that help can be found for them. Mike, if you're a citizen of Russia, then you should be able to buy land. Correct me if I'm wrong. No, that's right. But I'm not a citizen. We aren't citizens of Russia, so we are not able to buy that. How long did it take you to get the residence permit? A little over a year. Well,
Yeah, we came here.
no, that's not accurate though, because he just signed that decree. When was that? That was the summer. And then we filed for it. See, because President Putin signed a new decree allowing foreigners to get temporary residency without the need for language test. So we filed for ours 4 months ago. I think Putin signed that law 5 months ago. Yeah. And so 5 months, I guess, 4 months. I let my niece and nephew get away with too much, and in the end, they walk over you. I find it tough to properly discipline them because they associate me with fun. 100%. Look, okay, so I told Cora this exact same thing. Some of the best teachers that I ever had were the strictest. They did not allow anything. The one, actually, he made us line up all of the desks with a ruler. Everything had to be straight, prim, proper. There was no nonsense. To this day, that is the best teacher I ever had. I learned so much from that man because there was nothing was tolerated in his class except learning, and therefore, I mean, he taught me so much. Second greatest teacher, also super strict. She was only like 4 feet tall, just a real battle axe of a woman. Rules strict, but amazing. I learned so much from her as well. And one of the worst ones I would have had was a French teacher that I can think of, who had no discipline in class. She was too young. She came in, first of all, trying to make friends with all the kids, and she lost the control of the class on day one. And nobody listened to her after that. And I learned nothing from that woman. So I was telling Cora this, is that you can't go into a classroom being friend. You are there as a job. You are there as a superior. You're not. You can't drop yourself down to the kids' level. You are an authoritative position and figure, and you need to maintain that.
I feel like that with most parents nowadays.
Parenting
they always want to be a friend with their child, and I feel like that's where you lose the respect of the child. Right?
You are not their friend. You are their mom or their dad.
Yeah, years ago, I remember talking with my one sister about this, and her children were in the ages, I think, of like 2 years old and 3 or 4, and they were being very, very rude to her. And I just looked at her. I said, "You need to make those children respect you." And she said to me, "I don't know how." Like she almost putting it on her husband. And I said, "He's not there every day. You need to tell them that they do not need to speak to their mommy that way, because they do not, that's not right. You don't let them talk to you that way." And that's where it comes down to, is that you have to be the authority over them. It doesn't mean you're going to give them candies every time they turn around and treat them, like gold. They need to know that they need to respect. And that goes with any authority. I would never let my children speak rudely to any adult in the village, or even if the adult wasn't being polite to them, I still wouldn't let them be rude to them. It's a position of over top of them, somebody, above them. So it's the same thing. It's you as an aunt and uncle are actually doing a hindrance to the parents by letting those kids, treat you the way they do, goof around with you, and you're not helping them for the future generations. And that's for sure.
And I think that goes, it's not just parenting, but you need to teach your children to respect authority. I've seen some videos and stuff coming out of the West of people get pulled over by a cop and telling this cop swearing and cussing. Like, oh, I would never think to do that.
Yeah.
They are in a position over you, as is your government. Whether you like the government or not, they've been placed there by God as an authority over you. And that's an important thing to teach your kids, because the whole breakdown of an entire society comes from a breakdown of the home.
Yeah, but our government also, if you think about it, in the next couple generations in this country, if we don't actually have respectable young children, they're going to be running the country.
Which we see in the West as well.
Which we see in Canada big time, is we have a huge breakdown from all the way down from when those generations in the government now were children, right? They should have been disciplined better.
Spoiled brats that are now politicians.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's the same thing.
Very important. And community, it takes a community to raise a child. That's a very important thing as well. We need to work together. And then also some really good advice we got a long time ago, but there's stages in a child's life, and you need to correct those behaviors at those stages. Yeah. Otherwise, it gets even harder at the next stage. And so when you're dealing with a young child, it's very easy to deal with these issues at 1 and 2 years old already. people think babies are dumb, which
I
is
know.
it's not.
They are not.
They're
They are
super
very
intelligent.
intelligent.
And like Maddie, I can just look at her funny, and
She
she'll know
knows.
exactly what's
She
wrong.
knows. She is so stubborn. That one is so stubborn. And she has been since she was a baby. Yeah. She's so stubborn.
We're not perfect.
No.
It's a work in progress. All right, great advice, Anneesa. Justy, I definitely have my lines that I don't let them cross, but I'm still too soft.
It's hard. It is hard. And I feel the older we get, the softer we get. I have to admit.
Yep, it's boundaries, and I'm not.
I was the baby. My mom must have got soft on me. You're the baby too.
I'm the baby too.
I bet you your siblings would say your mom got soft on you too.
Probably. My most favorite movie of all time, To Sir with Love, starring Sidney Poitier. He was a great teacher based on a true story. I don't think I know that one. Greetings from Crimea. Greetings from small town Indiana. They're going to move into Russia in 2025. Hey, shoot me an email if you need any help or advice or direction. Good fella, they got a temporary permit. The permanent one is different. Yes, these are the desired people. Artyom, Russian soul, welcome and all the best. Good fella. Now they have 3 years to learn basic Russian and apply for permanent residency. Lived in Sevastopol 6 years. Oh, Maddie was so adorable when she marched up to the Russian official to receive her recipe. Yeah, wasn't that cute?
Yeah, but she was just like grabbed it and then
got my papers and I'm out of here.
But she didn't have to be like Finley got really nervous, so he needed his mommy. But it shows the different character of the child. She was just like everyone else was doing it, I'm doing it too.
Now, if she would have had to go first, she would have.
Yeah, she wouldn't have done it. Yeah, I find that she has that attitude like Cora almost. Like when Cora was little, me do it.
Oh yeah,
or I do it. I do it. And that's how Maddie is. She's got dressed by herself at a very young age. She is potty training at a very young age. She feeds herself at a really young age. She's starting to sing the alphabet. She's not perfect, but she is starting to like sing the like the English alphabet. Yeah. She's very much like Cora. I do it.
Mila, I am not sure what's wrong. Everyone else seems to hear us.
I don't know.
I don't know if you can try turning us up on your end, maybe. What do you think about opening a building company? Canadian original houses should be a great brand. Also, situation with the cost of property getting crazy in Russia. Building can be very profitable. We're talking about opening a building company in the spring. We have some plans in the works, but I don't want to stretch myself too thin. I really came here to focus on farming and the family, and would like to grow that. So we'll see how it goes. Right now we have enough stuff to build around here. I got to finish the shop. We got some cabins to build so we can rent them out. Lots of stuff to do.
Are you
ready to call her tonight? Yeah, I can hardly keep my eyes open.
That means you have to say stop reading.
Yeah, there's still some interesting stuff here, man.
I think we're gonna call it a night.
I think all countries got the same rules buying farmland. No, they don't.
Canada doesn't.
Canada has no rule, and I actually agree with the rule here in Russia because I just read again today that the Chinese have bought over 2 million acres of farmland in the States. To me, that's not a good idea. And in Canada, I don't know how much farmland directly, but I know foreigners do buy farmland. I just don't know how much is owned by China.
That's driving up.
But they have been buying up potash mines and other stuff like that. And those are things that could become of national interest. And they should only be bought by Canadians. They shouldn't be bought by anyone. I don't care if they're Chinese or Americans. They should be bought only by Canadians. And your food is also a national security issue. So why would you have other countries? Like, I just don't understand that. So as much as it's a pain, I would like to come to Russia and be able to buy land, sure. But I understand the rule, and I think it's a good rule. Maybe they could simplify some things and say, all right, you can buy like a minimum amount. You can buy 10 acres or something like that. Just so that, because I know a lot of farmers, and us included, you don't want to invest your savings in order to build barns and houses and all this other stuff on someone else's land. Feel much more comfortable when you're allowed to own that in your own name. And so if they can make an exception and say, all right, you're allowed a minimum amount of 10 hectares, You can buy that and build your barns on it, and then you can rent the rest or lease the rest or form a partnership for the rest or whatever. I think that's great. It's a good idea. It keeps people who don't live here from buying it. And also, I would add to it, and I think they should do this in Canada as well, that if foreigners buy it, like whoever buys it has to work the land. They have to do something with it. And that is the case in Canada too. There is farmland that has been bought up that is not being used, and it just kind of goes back to bush. And that's a shame because it's good farmland. It should be producing food. So, a few rules that I think are good. 10 acres is a good size. Yeah, that's more than enough to build your buildings. So anyway, we're going to call her a night. It's been a pleasure chatting with all of you. Great questions as always. And yeah, look forward to the next time. We're not going to do lives every week. It's a lot of work. A lot of work. I actually enjoy it. I think you do too. But anyway, lots of videos coming up. Don't forget to check out our VK page. If you haven't done there, we have a VK page now. It'll be in the description under the videos. Most videos will have it in there. Sometimes it gets forgotten. Go to another video, but look in the description. There's links there for our VK page, our Telegram, our YouTube channel. What else? Boosty. Multiple ways that you can support us. So check those out. Become members on those things as well. All right. God bless you. Catch you later.